get out of bed, I just sit on the floor first for quite some time, and then I sit on the floor for a while and just try to take the pressure off the back by sitting like over to one side, and then after that I'd sort of get up and walk around. I might do some exercises with my arms, just loosen it up, like parts of my body that I know is safe to loosen up. You know, I try to, even though the back hurts, I try to think, well, I'm not going to do anything with that yet, you know, and so just getting the body moving, you know, a bit, and then I get my tablets, have something to eat, just so I'm not eating on an empty stomach, and then after that I have started to stretch. The new stretch I showed you a while ago with the yoga pads on the staircase.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not stretching the hip flexor as far. I'm trying so hard to get the glutes working, and I'm able to lift my arms up above my head, like to stretch. Is it stretching the core muscles maybe? And but I'm going into extension, which I always used to say when I first met extension. Is I can't do it. You know?
Yeah.
But now I seem to have a better range of motion, and I can lean backwards a bit more than I could before. So I'm able to like lift my arms up above my head to do the classic, you know, the classic kind of pose that they have in, I think maybe yoga. And then I'm also able to like not do a cobra, but I'm able to like do more extension things, which I'm really pleased about. It's only natural movement, but before that was just a no-go area, and that would set me off straight away. Whereas now, what seems to set me off is not necessarily going backwards into the extension position as much, but just the load bearing. It's at a certain angle. If I lean over forwards and then I put too much force through the spine, that then sends me into spasm. But I'm getting, I think, better in terms of my routine in the morning to prevent the spasm, or I'm hopefully, if I have a bit of a spasm, I'm, you know, it's not cancelling me for the whole day. I'm still able to have it, you know, manageable.
Yeah.
Not so much so I can go somewhere. I might still think, well, today I've had a spasm in the morning, I won't go out today, but I'm not in agony for the whole day.
Oh, that's good.
Like I used to be.
Yeah, no, that's
So
really good.
Things have improved in both those ways, the morning routine, and if I do have a spasm in the morning, it's not continuous. Do you know what I mean?
And are you on the painkillers or you stop the painkillers?
I'm still taking magnesium. I'm still having the drink that you made.
Yeah.
I'm still having natural anti-inflammatories. And I'm still on ibuprofen. But I haven't been taking the gabapentin that I've gone back to the lowest dose.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because I don't want to be taking that at all if I can help it, you know. So I had a social prescriber visit this morning. The lady came from the NHS, and I thought I'd wait till you arrived to tell you. Or, I don't know if I told you in the message. And did I leave it out? I don't know if I told you anything about it, but...
No, you haven't, no.
Well, it was a disaster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like, when do I get a break from all this? I mean, it was almost laughable. She turned up, right? I've waited a while now for this lady to come. And she started with, before we get started, she said, I just want to let you know something about me. I said, oh, okay, yeah. And she seemed really stressed and really, like, nervous. And almost as if she was going to burst into tears. And she basically, like, said, she was like, stuttering a lot. She said, this is my last day at work today. I've handed my notice in. Um, I don't know what I can do for you. I'm probably very limited what I can do today. Um, I'm just going to pass notes on to whoever takes it on. Um, there's, she was just, and I've only got we've got about half an hour, maybe just a bit more, but, and she just was like really stressed, and I think the job was too much for her. And I think she just looked like she was so stressed out, had the world on her shoulders, and was just trying to get through her last day at work, and would get home at the evening and think, thank God that's over. You know, she just looked a nervous wreck. She asked to go to the toilet downstairs, and she disappeared for 15 minutes while I'm sat waiting in here, wondering if she's okay. I didn't know whether to go and ask if she was okay or what.
She was
but-
coming to provide the help and you end up helping her.
yeah. So, I mean, she didn't know what to suggest. She says, I haven't really learnt the job very well, and I'm not going to be doing it any longer anyway, but I don't know the area, I don't know the services at the council, I don't know I mean, she says, I mean, there's Age UK, but you're too young, there's Mind, but that's not what you need, and she just really looked like she didn't know what she was saying next. So in the end, I felt quite sorry for her, and I just thanked her for coming, and she just said, I'll pass your notes on. I don't know who's taking over. I don't know if they've got anybody. I don't know. So she just didn't know anything. She said, I was asking her a few questions, like, is somebody else going to come, like, after this session?
Yeah.
She says, probably. I don't like. You'll have to go ask your GP or your surgery. And it's just like, I just thought, this is terrible, So yeah, she just seemed like she just couldn't do the job, and was so stressed with it all. So
How old was this person then?
maybe in her 50s.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just I sensed on the phone when she phoned me that she seemed quite stressed on the phone and didn't really present herself well. She seemed very unsure about what she's doing, what day she can come, what help is out there. Yeah, I mean, I know that my surgery is linked to York, and a social prescriber has been hired by my surgery in York, but she's got to then prescribe services to people in Stamford Bridge in the East Riding area. But then, if she goes to somebody who lives in York, then she's got to know the York area services and the York Council.
Yeah.
So she's almost doing an extra area and having to learn double the amount that somebody else in her role probably normally does. And I think that's probably what's putting her off. That she hasn't got a head round what is in the East Riding of Yorkshire. And so the lady who I saw once before a while ago, she was a social prescriber, and she came and all she recommended was York things.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever she passed the name of a York service, I phoned them up and said, oh, you don't come under us. You're in Stamford Bridge, that's nothing to do with York. So a lot of the things that they recommended, so that she was more switched on, but still didn't really understand. She was referring me to things that I couldn't, that turned me away.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that I live in a different county, right? But my surgery is one of a few in the group in York. So my surgery is connected to Strensall. That's the main head office surgery, Strensall, and Dunnington, Stamford Bridge and Huntington. So it's a York-based surgery that has a branch in another county over the border. And that's the problem with all the referrals and everything. I have to keep going to York, to the hospital, to podiatry, to physio, and York, for me, has let me down. And I'm not allowed to investigate my own county. I can't go to East Riding. I mean, if I had any problems with council tax, I go to East Riding. But if I have any problems with my health, I cannot access East Riding at all. The doors are shut and locked. I can't go to West Wang down the road, Poplington. They won't take me on as a patient. I've got to go to my surgery in Stamford Bridge in York. Says you're too far away for us to join. If I wanted to, I can't join Fulford surgery. They won't take me. So I'll have to go to this one and this one only in Stamford Bridge. So I'm not in the catchment area. So yeah, so now I understand the problems that they are having coming to see me, and they've got to, you know what I mean? They've got to understand the situation and not refer me all the time to the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So the woman today, it was a dead end, you know, but hopefully somebody else will come, but it could be another few months before I get an appointment. And I mean, obviously the best thing you can do if you're able to is treat yourself. Do you know what I mean? Be proactive and
Yeah, but doing what? If you don't have the answers, what to do?
yeah.
You don't even know what's wrong with you there.
The reason she was coming was for two things: to see if she could refer me into any particular health services that my surgery hasn't bothered to think of, and also just to try and help me when I'm having a really bad time, maybe have a way of socialising. Because at the moment, if I woke up tomorrow and I was in absolute agony, and let's say you went to Brazil again the day after, and
Yeah.
Mum had a hip operation again, I'm stuck here for weeks and weeks, potentially on the floor most of the day, with no one to talk to or help me, or I can't get out, and that's what all this is for. I'm trying to think, if all that happens again, I don't want to be going through the same problem again. This is because I don't necessarily feel I must have, you know, a social prescribing service right now today. Do you know what I mean? But round the corner, I might be totally in a different position for a few weeks in a row, you know, so that's what it's all been for. She definitely didn't have the answers. It was a waste of time me trying to ask her too many questions.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't, yeah, it would have just stressed her out more. So I just felt sorry for her, really. She looked like she's about to cry at any time. She's like, probably got to the car and virtually cried and drove off in the car. She was in a right mess.
Jesus.
Yeah. I felt like phoning the surgery to ask if she was okay. I felt sorry for her myself.
And this is the person they are sent to help you out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But the good news is I got to Birmingham for the scan. I managed to get there and back on the train. It was difficult. So but I managed to do it, and I'm pleased I managed to do it. And I've got to go again, as I said before in the message, for the rest of the
But
scan.
I don't get it. If you have everything settled already, everything was sorted for you to have the both scans, why in the God name they decided?
Well, I booked it with Vista Health, who passed them my details on to InHealth, who hired a radiographer for a set period of time, who doesn't work for them necessarily all the time. There's too many layers. Do you know what I
But
mean?
that's not a problem because they asked you to prepay it. You did.
Yeah, I did.
You
Yeah.
did all the procedures.
Yeah.
And then you get there, well, we cannot do nothing for you.
They admitted that there'd been a mistake. They admitted that I'd paid for 2 areas of the body to be scanned, and they just said you'll have to take it up with the company that you first spoke to. But I just, I really did argue. I really did kick off and argue, and I stood my ground. And she went and said, "I'll just go phone my manager and ask them what they." Yeah, I'll go and speak to my manager. And I just thought, she turned back here 2 minutes later, and apparently she said, "I've spoken to my manager, and they said there's nothing we can do." I just thought, you haven't phoned your manager. Do you know what I mean?
I would call the police straight away and press on charge.
Ridiculous.
But that's stealing because they took your money and they didn't deliver the service.
Yeah. I mean, the lumbar is not the same as the thoracic, and they're not the same as the sacrum. There's three different areas of the back, you know. So they can't just say we've scanned your lumbar and that covers the sacrum, because they actually have it advertised on the website that it's a price for each area of the back. You can have just this done or just that done. I could have just had the sacrum done. So they just do the sacrum, because I actually asked them on the day, can I come back and have the sacrum done another time if you say you can't do it today? Oh yes, of course. I said, but I've had the lumbar done. Is the sacrum different? So they said, oh yes, it's very different. And oh right, I said so. And because at first they were trying to say, well, we have done everything for you. We've done the lumbar, and it does go into the sacrum a little bit. And I thought, right, but I want to just find out if the sacrum is okay. And if it's just arthritis or if it's not that bad, great. But if it's like there's some real degeneration in the sacrum, I want to know.
Yeah.
Because I'm struggling to sit on a chair and I'm having to slump over to the side. I feel my coccyx is like, has moved. I feel like it's, it just feels different when I sit on the floor to how it used to do years ago. Something's definitely, I think my pelvis is probably tilted, muscles have probably changed length, position, etc. And it's not an easy thing to fix, but the more information, the closer we get to a understanding and a diagnosis of the problem, the better it's going to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, don't get me started on my feet. But my feet have not had a diagnosis either. But at the end of the day, it's
And you cannot even blame the NHS now because it was private.
that was private, yeah. Private's got worse, There's too many people now booking private. I mean, I had to wait a long time.
Worse and expensive.
And expensive, yeah. It's expensive, but it's still too general. Privately, I thought it was more specific, but it's just very general because there's too many people who, they're just getting people to turn up for a scan and they're just making loads of money. And they've got time to double check that they're doing it right. You know what I mean? But like you say, they're happy to take your money. They're happy to just get you in and out. And
It's ridiculous, James.
yeah. I'm trying to be positive. But I know it's not just a health service. Like you book. I ordered my food from Morrison's, and they delivered. Everything was great. But they delivered one item incorrectly that I'd never even asked for instead of something I'd bought. And in the end, I just thought, just leave it. But there's mistakes everywhere in life, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you think hardly any time does anything go particularly, right. Right. Yeah. There's always something that's not right. And it's just, like I said, it's because there's too many people willing to, people don't treat customers very nicely sometimes because they think, well, if they don't come back to the shop, we'll have plenty more people next time,
Yeah, but
it's awful, isn't it?
It is, yes.
And yet I don't run my business like that. I try to provide a really good service. I feel terrible if I've taught a bad lesson. I think I've got to make up for it the week after. I need to do a super lesson now to make up for it. And I don't know why, it seems to be just a few people have that philosophy these days. I'm grateful for all your help, and it seems like it's hard to find people who, that care and that.
Because everything what is running out there in these days, James, is all about money.
Yeah.
It's all about money. People lost the sense of philanthropy, of trying to help others. I say sometime ago someone asked me, how much you charge for your massage? I said, well, I don't charge. I leave to people to whatever they can afford. If they can afford a $5, I'll take a $5. If people can afford 500, I'll take 500. If people, they simply can't afford anything, but if they are in need, I have no problem of going there and make sure at least I can give a little bit of help. Because I back in the days, I have had help from people I didn't expect it. They would notice that I do exist,
Yeah.
But sometimes, well, I have a headache. I go to the doctor. Okay, buy paracetamol, or buy this, or buy whatever. Everything is going around money. Everything is around money. Sometimes I take my massage bet into my capoeira events. I remember I was giving a massage to this guy in Grantham, to this boy, and that was it. His father came, so how much is he saying? I don't know about that. And then I saw his father 4 months later in Scotland with almost the same problem in the back. Out of nothing, the guy sent me 200 quid, and I said, what was that for? Well, we have my boy, now I see you doing massage for other people, you still need to get paid. Yeah, but it's not about the money. And then he said, I know it's not about the money, but if you are helping, why not helping you too? And then you just go and you start thinking, it's nice when you can help someone, and there's some gratitude in it. Yeah. But a lot of times you go and pay a as you just did for your scan.
Mm.
Don't get the service done. Don't even have an excuse why you cannot have it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're just gonna say to you, right, you need to come again, and then it means you're gonna have to pay for it again.
Mm.
You don't have to pay for the treatment which you already did pay, but to get there, you need to spend some more
Yeah,
money.
it's going to cost me another £100 or something, the travel. Yeah.
So we're your friends trying to call it this time.
Yeah, it's so I'm trying to stay positive. I mean, I've often said if I'm in less pain, I'm more positive in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And when the pain builds up, I struggle to manage it because it can be shooting pain, very painful, go on and on, and, you know. So I get, obviously it affects me,
Yeah.
you know, because it's not about can I switch it off. The pain doesn't switch off, you know, it's there. You've got to be careful. You've got to try and tiptoe around and hope it calms down, and you know, it takes time to pass, you know.
Mhm.
So I'm obviously when it happens, it flares up. I'm disappointed, you know. It's like somebody who has a car and they park their car, they come back to the car after they've been somewhere, and somebody's smashed into the back of it, and they've driven off, and they don't know where they're going to have it repaired. Your natural thing is, oh, could have done without this. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
got to sort this out now. Blooming it. Oh, blooming it. You know, and it's like that. You know, I just think, oh, I'm gonna have a really rotten day, and I've got to get through it, and you know, so yeah, I'm just trying to find ways to reduce the number of flare-ups.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
And at the moment, I feel I'm managing to get to a lot better than I was before. So still would like to be a lot better, but I'm thankful I'm not worse. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to think, James. To keep moving forward, you know.
Yeah. We got down to the beach. My mum was at the beach, and I went to see her after the Birmingham trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the beach for about maybe an hour and a half, and it was lovely. Yeah. So yeah. So it's
Where you going to go again?
I don't know yet. I mean, we had the chalet's finished for the season,
Mm-hmm.
so the main thing was just spending the last few days where the sun came out and mum was down there, and I just wanted to really get to the beach just to have that time, you know, quality time. And there's still plenty of things to look forward to in the autumn and winter, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just and I've started working again, and so far I'm managing it. You know, 1 or 2 days I've struggled a bit more, but I'm trying to take breaks. I'm trying to keep moving and stretching and
Mm-hmm.
in between lessons. And
So you're not doing like you were doing before, like doing 4 or 5 lessons in a row.
no, I'm doing like two, and then I have a break, and
Yeah.
I stretch and move around, and like even during the lessons, I'll even when they don't share the screen, I don't share the screen, or I switch it off for a bit, and I'll get out of the chair and I'll stretch a bit, and just that I'm not sat constantly in a chair for like 4 hours straight. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that. So I've got ways of managing that better than I was doing. Yeah. Just even just a break for 10, 15 minutes, you know, between lessons it makes a huge difference.
I imagine it does, James.
Yeah, getting out of the chair, just here and there, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I'm making sure that I definitely do that.
Yeah, just this by changing position that makes a big difference, really.
Yeah, I found a good position actually to do a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And in the morning, I do it in the morning, but not straight away. But after maybe I've walked around a little bit, I get back onto the floor. I do the piriformis stretch first of all, because I know that that's taking the pressure off the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do a stretch where it's hard to explain really, but it's a bit like stretching the hamstring, but instead of having the leg straight forward, I'm sitting down by the way to do this stretch. I sit over to one side, so I'm like not sitting perfectly on my bottom, but to one side, and then I put my leg that I'm stretching out in front of me on. In a way, it's like what I'm doing right now, but instead of this leg on top going straight to down, it's like if I point it towards the television instead. So the leg on top, if I swing it round and point towards the TV, I'm doing that. That's kind of what I'm doing when I'm stretching, and I find that it's my leg is bent, it's kinked, it's not straight. So it's like I'm doing a hamstring stretch, but not with a straight leg, with a leg that's a bit kinked.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it's not putting as much pressure on the hamstring, which is good because I don't want to overdo that. But it's also allowing me to really stretch my back out more. So, but I'm also sat on the floor, so I'm not wobbling around either. I used to try and stretch the hamstrings, but I was always like stood up, stretching the hamstrings and standing up, resting my foot on top of the stairs, but now sat on the floor, doing what I've just said. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not wobbling around. I'm stationary, and I'm not doing a full hamstring stretch. I'm actually stretching the back more, the hamstring less. So I feel I'm getting a better stretch in the morning.
So you're not seeing the difference then?
Yeah.
During the day.
Yeah. I'm trying to activate the glutes. I've tried to stand with my back against the wall and then go down the wall, and then sort of I either go down, up, down, or I just go down the wall and keep the position for a few seconds and then go back up again and repeat that a few times. I'm doing the neck exercises that you told me.
Yeah.
And my neck is doing much better.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Good.
I had over a year of really difficult pain in my neck, and then you've sorted that out. You know what I mean? It really is. It was a major worry. It was starting to become a really major worry about it, 6 to 12 months ago. And what you did to my neck was like fantastic.
Oh, that's good. Remember to keep the exercise because you don't want it to go back.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's good to hear. Is helping, James. Really appreciate to hear that you're feeling better. Because sometimes you try to help, you try to do different types of treatment and massage, and it will not work. But sometimes it does not work because the person does not help themselves. Like I had this guy with some problem on his shoulder. So I was going to see him for over 3, 4, 5 months, and no improvements were making it. And then it was one day I just asked, how many times have you done exercise in passing you? Oh no, I haven't tried it. And I said, okay, it's been 4 or 5 months. We're doing this exercise, doing this massage. All the time I come here, it seems their muscles are a bit stronger, but they are not flexible. So what's wrong? Well, I don't have the time for the exercise, so I have to make the whole plan again to start doing some exercise for the neck. 4 weeks later, all the mobility was back almost back to normal because he started doing the exercise. So it's like the same, Jamie. You can be thirsty as much as you want, and I give you a glass of water. If you don't put that in your mouth, you're still gonna be thirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But but I'm glad to hear your neck is better. We need to make sure you want to improve your back at some point. This is the main concern here.
I think it is improving a bit. I think it's like I said, I've got more range of motion.
Yeah.
And the pain is not flaring as much now. I mean, obviously I had a really tough time in the summer, but in the past few weeks, I've had, I mean, I know I had a flare up when the lady came to my house. Now that was really unfortunate, bad timing. But I was going to mention actually, I couldn't understand and hear what she was saying half the time, and I felt a bit bad. I thought she was asking me a question, I think, at one point, and I said, sorry, can you say that again? And I still couldn't hear her. And at one point, with one thing she said, I don't know if she was asking me a question or not, but I didn't answer because
Yeah.
I didn't know what she'd asked or said, or I just nodded my head and looked away. And I thought, I hope that she didn't ask me a question because I sound really rude not answering the question that she said.
James, as I told you, I've been treating with her maybe for, I don't know, the past 13 years. Well, it was a time when she was in England, 13, 12 years.
Gosh, yeah.
Until now, I can't understand what she says when she speaks.
She's very quiet.
Yeah, I look at her, and then we could have a better conversation about 3 or 4 years ago when she found out I could speak Spanish. And I said, you know what, Maria, from now on, let's speak Spanish, please, because I really can't understand your English. I'm not being rude, but I can't understand what
Yeah.
you're saying. And then, oh, you can speak Spanish? Yes, I can speak, so please, let's speak Spanish. I can't write. You know, I can read Spanish, but I cannot write. So you can write in Spanish to me if you want, and I have no problems with it. My answers will be in English, but our conversations, please, let's make it in Spanish, because I really can't understand what you're saying because you speak so quiet, and I don't understand your phonetic as well sometimes. Your
Yeah.
accent, I'm just like, and then she keeps asking the same thing. I'm like, what are you talking about? So don't be surprised. For after 10 years, I still can't understand her, and you have that experience. So don't feel bad about it.
But I was trying to like half listen and half guess what she was saying.
Yeah,
And she seemed to be, she mentioned a meridian line.
Yeah.
And she seemed to point towards the foot as if there was a meridian line from the foot up the leg, I think she said.
yeah.
And
Trust me, that gave me few nights of not sleeping properly, trying to study about that.
Yeah.
I'm almost getting there. You know, what she mentioned was the liver meridian. So she mentioned all the time, I'm doing a treatment for you to do a treatment on the liver meridian. You know,
which meridian is that, sorry?
which is the liver.
The liver meridian.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
So it will go from your thighs and right into your toe. And she pointed me place where I should actually do some manipulations, and yes, it's just because this is new for me, you know. So I need to check it, I need to study it, and I need to go again and again and again just to make sure this is actually what she meant. You know, so I got like 3 or 4 of my students in Leeds, and I'm like, okay, guys, lie down. You're gonna be my my puppets today.
Yeah.
And they were quite happy with the outcome, but I said, well, that's fine by me because I've been learning with you here, guys. That's the only chance I have to learn, you know. So yeah, I'll show you later where that would be.
Yeah. There was a lady that I've had a session with who talks about energy.
Yeah.
And she talks about like spirit and the spirit and the physical, and it's a little bit out there.
Yeah.
But she does talk about like I said to her, I'm not sure if I'm in agreement with some of the things that you're saying, but I understand a science, and that's the kind of like advice that she gives me. Scientific advice has been very helpful. But she seemed to say that she felt that I had some problem with my bladder meridian.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because I remember you mentioned that to me before.
Yeah.
And I mentioned when I was mentioning to you, I don't do understand much about the meridians on that time. And then when Maria was talking to me about this living meridian, and then I got a bit confused. I didn't know when you mentioned about this lady, if she mentioned about the bladder or about the liver.
It was the bladder, yeah.
It was the bladder.
Yeah, she hasn't mentioned any other meridian lines, just that one. So,
right, so there's another thing for me to go back to my books.
And I do feel that the bladder is under stress. I have had times in the past where I've been teaching in the classroom at school for years and years, and I sort of didn't have the time to go to the toilet, and so it would be very difficult, and the bladder would be under stress. I'd have to hold it in for a long time, and I know that even now with my back being bad, if I need the toilet, sometimes I think, oh God, my back's hurting. I'm trying to stop myself I've got to go to the toilet. I've got to go. And at other times I can wait for ages.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I just feel if my back's a bit bad, like let's say my back's had a flare up in the morning, and then in the afternoon I think, oh, I need the toilet. That day I've got to go. Whereas another day, if my back hasn't had a spasm, I can wait and go to the toilet a lot later. Like, oh, I'll have my dinner first and go after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No need to rush at all. It's just because when you're holding the tensing muscles, do you know what I mean? That the lower back is I didn't realise until all these problems happened of how sometimes you have to engage the muscles in your back at certain times, you know. But when I was teaching in the classroom, I didn't have the back problems as much as I have now, but I used to have to manage to not go to the toilet for maybe, I might be holding, you know, myself from preventing myself from going to the toilet for about 3 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'd have a lesson in the morning, another lesson afterwards, registration before the lesson starts, and also that if the kids had really been badly behaved, you have to give them detention. So then, if it's break time, like registration, lesson 1, lesson 2, break time, and then sometimes by the time I'd told them off and made them do detention, the bell would be ringing for lesson 3, and then I'd have to do lesson 3, so it'd be like 3.5 hours. So if I suddenly like thought, oh, I need the toilet at the end of registration, you know, you can normally think, well, I'll teach a lesson, and then I'll go between lesson 1 and 2. That's what other teachers used to do. But I was in a porter cabin at the other side of the school to where the toilets were. So I couldn't get to the toilets. And the kids were like coming into the classroom, sir, can we come in? It's raining outside. So there'd be times when you say, oh, yeah, in you come in, and there was no time to get to the toilet for ages. So that period was, you know, not good. And that went for quite a few years. I was in that high stress position. And so with you know the bladder issues.
Yeah.
And yeah, just so there's a history of, you know what I mean, tension with the bladders being in the tense situations. So just a minute, just stop. Sorry, if you just have a look at my ankle, if you just have a look at that ankle there, I've got a cut. You just be careful not to go too close for it to start opening up.
Okay, what happened there?
I don't know. I literally just noticed it maybe a week ago or a few days ago, and I honestly don't even know what happened. Something must have gone into it. It bled a bit. I itched it and it bled, and I thought, oh, what's that? And then it stopped bleeding eventually. But it's just yeah, I don't know, maybe just a gash. Must have gone into like something sharp.
Okay.
So maybe I don't know, walked into something and it was sticking out. I just don't know. But I just thought.
You didn't feel any swelling on your leg?
Sorry?
You didn't feel any swelling on your leg?
It's a bit swollen. Is it?
Yeah. Was it, or is it still a bit swollen?
My leg's not really swollen. I think I'm wearing ankle supports. Sometimes I tighten them too tight. My leg sometimes feels a bit swollen.
Don't go too tight, James. That will cause problem with your circulation. You know, at least not when you are sitting.
Undo it.
Yeah, undo it a little bit, and then if you need to start walking, then you can put a bit more pressure, but don't keep it under pressure all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's it'll heal itself. Okay. It's just trying to be careful not to knock it.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange. Yeah. I would have thought something that cuts as deep as that, I would have remembered, you know. But I don't know, it's strange. But yeah, so the bladder is something that maybe, you know, I've kind of caused it lots of stress, and she said that's maybe something to look at. But she gives me advice on nutrition, you know, just a few things, you know. It's, my friend Simon, who I play pool with, he passed the name on to me because he said she's really helped him a lot, and So yeah, he basically he became like a vegan, and then he found he was getting like not feeling very well. So he sort of stopped being a vegan, and he still careful about what he eats,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, he kind of thought, I want to feel better generally all round. And then he says, oh, it's not always healthy being a vegan.
No, not at all.
So
It's okay being vegetarian, but being a vegan is a bit too extreme.
yeah, yeah. So it's yeah.
So what's the plan for this weekend then? What are you guys planning?
Well, my friend Simon, who I play pool with, he's going to come here to
Mhm.
visit. That's if it is, he's hoping to come and help me tidy up a bedroom upstairs,
Mhm.
because I've got one bedroom upstairs that's just a mess. Like it's just full of junk. So he's going to come and help me with lifting boxes and organising things. And I've ordered some more storage boxes,
Mhm.
and so I'm just going to try and organise things. And it's the classic: am I keeping this or throwing it away?
Ah, yeah, I
Is it
know that
keep,
feeling.
throw, recycle, keep, throw, recycle? So yeah.
I know that bit. I was doing that a few weeks ago at home, and there's plenty more work to do.
Mm.
Not recycling thing in there, buddy.
Yeah. So I just want that room to be organised better, and then the aim is to like have the door open and
Mhm.
a bed in there, and like somebody can maybe, if a friend wants to come and stay, they can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so
And I think I see the neighbor sold the house. I just saw it now.
yeah. And he only said the other day, we've not had that much interest. We're going to give it a few more weeks, and then we'll take it off the market for the winter and try again next year. And then all of a sudden, there's sold.
So where they're planning to go then?
They're staying in the village.
Yeah.
They're staying in the village. They like this area. They just felt their children have, well, they had an older daughter when they first moved in, and she's like older now, has left home, and the son, um, I think the son is his wife's son, and like because his dad picks him up at the weekends,
Mm-hmm.
and so so he's not there. He doesn't live with them very much. So they said, we don't need a house this size. There's just me and my wife now. We don't need a 5-bedroom house.
It's a 5-bedroom house.
That one's a 5-bedroom house, yeah, next door.
Oh Lord.
So they want to downsize, and he says, we want to downsize and maybe work a bit less and go off a bit more often.
Yeah.
And so we want to like maybe sell the house and reduce the mortgage, work a bit less, and live a bit more. So
Well,
that was what he said.
can't blame them for that. Really.
No. No, so yeah. And also he said for a bit more privacy, because he says in the garden, he says everybody's garden looks over onto the next person's garden,
Mm-hmm.
and he says that we'd like to find somewhere if we can that's a bit more private. So,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite lucky. My garden, it doesn't really have people looking over into the garden much.
Well, just in the corner, so you don't have people from that side and from the back. Well, I don't know from the back, but at least you don't have from one side people looking to it.
Yeah. But the guy next door, he's got everybody looking into his garden in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. If you can turn around for me then, please, James.
Yeah.
On your time, of course, no rush.
Yeah.
Just get on here.
You okay, Mum?
Yeah.
Are you listening to something through the hearing aids, Mum?
No, because it's wearing them out.
Oh.
Wearing batteries out.
My mum can listen to the phone through her hearing aids.
Really?
Yeah, she can listen.
I can listen to music on my phone. Yeah.
She's listening to music on through her hearing aids. How good is that?
Well, good to know because one day I'm going to need one myself, so I know I can listen to my music then.
Yeah.
then.
And
Oh
that's through
boy.
the NHS. So the NHS are good at certain things.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
Okay. Right. So I want to let me see how is this side of your back because I really want to concentrate on the right hand side only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not too bad compared to the other side, of course.
Yeah. I'm still trying to push against the wall.
Yeah.
More with my right leg because I used to do it mostly with the left.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to say I used to say my left leg is so much stronger because my right foot is not as good as well. So
So
the
you
left,
have compensated.
yeah, I'm trying to balance it out more.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I've not been on the bike much recently. I want to start getting back into the bike.
Well, make sure you were fitter before you started it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're just gonna throw through the window everything.
I think this is my favourite song.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Brian Adams. Yeah. So what's new with you, Sandro?
Well, I went to Poland on the 19th of September, and I came back on the 22nd.
Can you hear it?
No, I can't hear him. No.
And something actually happened which never happened to me before. A massive headache
Oh
when
yeah.
I was on the plane. I didn't understand what that was, but that was, James, you know, a little bit about me not going to tablets. I don't like painkillers. So even though if I have a little pain, I rather to stand and have that pain for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it got to the point, James, it was that bad. I had to ask, you know, please can I have a tablet because my head's exploding? And the answer was, we are not allowed to give you any sort of painkillers in aircraft.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. Luckily, a lady in front of me, she had like a couple of tablets in there because she was having bad headaches as well. And she offered that to me. And I just put it straight inside my mouth, even without water. And then I think maybe it took about half an hour, 40 minutes before it started easing out the pain. And then, anyway, and then.
When did the pain start? Were you taking off or landing or?
Well, I always have a problem when it's landing because it blocks my ears. But that, it was just in the air. It was, you know, it was not the takeoff, it was not on the land, it was just in between.
Yeah.
And that's why I felt a bit like something's not quite right here. But anyway, I got to Poland, we had the event. On my way back, I mentioned to the guy, that friend of mine, the doctor, and then he gave me like some strong painkillers, and he said, well, I'm gonna take a couple of them even before the flight starts, you know, just in case I'm gonna have that pain again. Yeah. And guess what? That pain came back. You know, for 1 hour, I was kind of struggling with that pain. And when we got back home, and started feeling these headaches, and then around my eyes it was hurting, and then my mandible was aching as well, you know, my teeth. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, what's happening here? Yeah. And I thought I got a cold or something. Guess what? Sinuses. And I'm like, no way. I had it back in 2021 for a few days, well, several days. And I just had it back again. So every day this week, well, last week, I was struggling a bit with a headache, so taking tablets all the time. I didn't take tablets for a couple of days, and then when was that? On Friday, I had to stop and get some Nurofen. You know, very strong one, and then I started taking it. It's been a couple of days. I'm not taking it now.
Mm.
You know, I have slightly pain in my head, but the mucus, they are very green. You know, very disgusting. And I'm like, yeah,
Mm.
I don't like it. But at least the symptoms are going away slowly. I still feel I'm not 100% recovered.
Yeah.
You know, but compared to what I was last week, James, gosh.
Mm.
So I'm quite glad about it, you know, recovering. And this weekend I'm going to Edinburgh.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be in Edinburgh. I was planning to go on Saturday morning, but to be there at 10, I need to leave home at least around 5 o'clock. You know, half
Yeah.
past 4, 5, and I really can't be asked. So I'm thinking, I finish work on Friday. I just come home. I stay with Max and Utsi for a bit, and I'll set off around maybe 6 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock. So I'll be there between 11 and 12 o'clock. There's a Airbnb, which
Yeah.
the guys they hired for us in there. So it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
about 6 or 7 of us staying in that Airbnb. So no matter what time I arrive in there, I have the codes for the doors and everything. So
Yeah.
should be okay. And I have a good night of sleep.
Mm.
Because sometimes it might take 5.5 hours to get there, sometimes like 4.5 hours, just depends on the traffic and on the weather, of course.
Yeah.
And the problem about traveling that far on my own is just boring. You know, if you have someone by your side who can talk, who can, you know, can make jokes, you can relax. But when you go on your own, you need to be on the phone all the time. Put some music. I don't put music now on a podcast. I don't want a podcast anymore. I want a documentary. Oh, now I want to listen to some music again. Oh, now I want to call someone. You know, it's long.
Mm.
So that's when I'm understanding I am getting old for all of this.
Well, I can recommend the train. You know,
Yeah,
I was impressed with the train.
I would go on the train without a problem, James.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. The only problem is to come back. It will cost me twice as much as it will cost on my car.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know. And then I need to get to Edinburgh. I need to get someone to pick me up, and it's not all the time someone is there to pick you up on time. So you have. Since I had to wait 1.5 hours before, just waiting there until someone comes to pick me up, for them to say, it's better if you just take a taxi and come here.
Mm.
And I'm like, why didn't I say that in the first place?
Yeah.
So, and at least on the car I can leave whenever time I want. I can, you know.
Mm.
It's tiring, but it's more comfortable. And
Yeah.
it makes life a little bit easier for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. When I went to Birmingham, we got to the station in Birmingham, and I looked on my phone where the hospital was, and rather than getting a taxi, we walked, because I just thought I need to walk, I need to move. I've been sat all the way, you know, on the train. I need to move. So I'm glad I did. You know, it's important to move, break things up
Yeah.
a bit. So yeah.
So back to the question, where did you leave your car when you went to York?
Oh, I parked at a street called St George's Place, opposite the racecourse.
Okay, and then you took a taxi.
I parked it. I thought if I can park at St George's Place, I can get a taxi to the station with my friend Eve. So she met me. She lives in Fulford. She walked over from Fulford to St George's Place. So we met there with the aim of getting a taxi. And then when I got there, I was struggling with my back a bit, even just in my own car, because it was early in the morning, you see. So I just said to Eve, I said, what time is the train? So she checked and said, oh, it's in an hour, because we were both worried about missing the train. So I said, we've got an hour. Oh my God. So like in the end, I said, can we just go? Like, can we walk to the station from St George's Place? I said, years ago, I used to walk from here to the chiropractic first on the corner near the cinema, not far from the cinema. So I said, can we just walk there if we've got an hour? If we just do it in 2 stages. So we walked up to the top of, so we walked to Blossom Street, and we just sat and rested for a bit. And then after a 10-minute rest, and I stretched a bit, then we walked to the station. So it's obviously if you're not struggling, it's not far at all, is it?
Oh well, not really.
You know, so we managed to walk to the station, and we got on the train, and then we got to Birmingham, and I looked at the phone and walked from the station to the hospital, and it was about 10 minutes
Okay.
walking.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the taxis were all queuing up at the station. It wasn't that they wanted to save money, it wasn't anything like that. But the taxi drivers were like, Eve said, you could ask them, James, if you can sit on the floor in the taxi without a seatbelt on, if you think you'll be better doing that. And I just said, Eve, I said, there's no way the taxi driver's going to say, yeah, you can sit at the floor without a seatbelt. You know, they've got to insist that you follow the rules.
Yeah.
So I just said, it says on my phone, Eve, it's 10 minutes to walk there. So we got a coffee, because we got plenty of time, and we walked with the coffee. After 5 minutes we stopped, we sat and had a coffee, then we walked the rest of the journey to the hospital. So it was literally walking and train, that's what we did. But I drove to St George's Place in the car and drove back. Oh, but the day I drove back, whole road was closed.
Well, it is now.
And I didn't know.
Every night
Is
you
it-
close.
Oh, I didn't know. So I got to the top of Hull Road, saw the blooming closed sign, and then I had to go back towards like University and Broadway.
Yeah.
So I went through Heslington Lane and had to go out down the end of Fulford to get onto the A64 to get home that way. So that made the journey a bit longer at the end.
A64 is shut between A19 and Hull Road.
Right?
And then Hull Road is shut where just at the roundabout where it goes down to the university where the petrol station at B&Q is,
Yeah.
where they are. So to get there, we need to go to Oswald-Wick. And I didn't realize that, so when I was coming, it's close, that's fine, I just go to Heslington and then all the way around the uni,
Yeah.
Hull Road. I got there, I had to go to Oswald-Wick and then cut through Moreton to come in.
Yeah.
It's not bad when you know you can plan it, but when you get caught by
Oh,
surprises.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Osbaldwick. You can go Osbaldwick and then you can get onto the Bridlington Road, can't you?
You can go to Moreton.
Merton, that's it. Yeah, Merton.
So
Yeah.
once you get to Moreton, you get straight to the A166.
Yeah.
So that was an easy catch to come. But last
Oh,
time
I didn't think of that.
Yep.
You've just made me think now. What a stupid. Oh, I should have thought of that.
no, I'm dropping those roads almost
Yeah.
every day.
I
So
can't believe I didn't think of that. I mean, oh, that's embarrassing. That's,
don't worry, James.
Yeah. The good thing is though, we got to the top of Hull Road, and when I saw the road was closed, I just said, "Oh, I've got to get out of the car and move. I've got to stretch."
Yeah.
So we parked up in the petrol station. So I got some petrol from the petrol station because I wasn't going to get some then. But I went into the shop because you have to pay for petrol, and it's a good shop, the Co-op.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And so I bought one or two items because my friend stayed overnight, and then she went home the next day from here. So I got like some paella and like some nice yogurts. It was a few nice things from the shop, so that was good. Yeah. My friend Eve, who I went to the appointment with,
Yeah.
she actually used to work in the healing clinic
Oh, really?
doing massage. Yeah, many years ago, she said. And so we were chatting on the train about different things, and she said, "Oh, I used to work," because I said there's a lady who's been to my house recently. Sandro brought what was her name again? Sorry.
Maria.
Maria, yeah. And I said, yeah, Maria came, and so I said it was really frustrating because I had a flare up before they started, and so it's a shame I wasn't more like my normal self, but still we chatted away, and she said, oh, I said, oh, I think she works. For what, she said, who is she or something? And I just said, oh, I think she works at like a place on the Stone Bow, like the
Yeah.
massage place opposite the surgery. And that's all I could remember. And she said, "Oh," she said, "I know that place, opposite the surgery." She says, "Oh, um, I, she says, basically, she said, I used to work at the healing clinic many lifetimes ago." And she said, "Yes, I used to work with there was a lady and a man, and they like both left the healing clinic to set up a business together." And she mentioned the name of the lady, and she said there's a man called Errol Lynch.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, this must be the same Errol, perhaps." So she said, they both set up a business,
Yeah.
and she said that they didn't quite see eye to eye, and they had different methods and philosophies of massage, so they broke apart. And so she says, yeah, that Maria must work in that building then, and must follow Errol's methods and so on. And so it all started to make sense to me, because you mentioned Errol, and I just assumed Errol, I think I said this before, I assumed Errol must work in Leeds, because I know that you go to Leeds when you do the classes,
Yeah.
and I just thought maybe Errol works in Leeds. I don't know, I just made that thing. And I didn't dream that he worked in York, because I used to think, well, York doesn't have many good health services and so on.
Yeah.
So,
About well, Errol is Maria's teacher.
yeah.
So he had a clinic. Well, when I first started treating with Errol, they had a clinic on Micklegate, and they flew off a couple where is the healer place there. Just if you know where the Pop Ward is,
Oh, what's it?
Pop Ward in Micklegate, just around the corner.
I don't know. I know Micklegate, there's a road you can get to the station if you turn off
Right,
the
yeah.
traffic light.
So that's George Street. When you
Yeah.
turn to the street, right. So if you keep going up, I think maybe about 50 or 60 meters up there on the left hand side, that's the school of reflexology, acupuncture, and
Oh,
college.
yeah, see, acupuncture college,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's where Errol used to have his place.
Long time ago.
Not 20 years ago when I first got here.
Yeah.
And then I knew from there, I knew his first students. You know, they're all settled up with their own business now. And so that's where I first met Errol. You know, and then some other guys were doing treatments for me, and then yes, so he was teaching people there, he was treating people, he was just starting his business from that moment.
Yeah.
And then he started another one in before this place where he is now. I know it was somewhere else. Well, he had another client he was trying to set up in Wongate, and in right in the city center, which is Coppergate. So Coppergate, and then Hillgate, which is just down the Stonewall.
Yeah.
So this clinic now is shut because the price has been too much. He's not treating anyone because of his problem now, and by Maria going away. So they only kept one clinic now in Coppergate, but he spends most of his time in London. That's where his mom lives, so he looks after his mom. And so he comes once a week to York to see the students in the clinic, and then just to give workshops to guys. So it's been many years, he keeps telling me I need to learn too, his treatment. It's just never convenient for me because whenever I had the money, I didn't have the time. When I had the time, I don't have the money. So last year he was like doing a course, well, the beginning of this year, in January, reflexology, where it was about 1,200 pounds. I didn't have the money. When I got the money, the course was finished. So.
And when you do the course, you need to know you're gonna like make use of that skill and treatments and everything. Yeah.
Because as I say, for now, James, yes, I want to learn some more. I want to keep doing things, new courses. It's just all the time when something new is starting is when the winter is starting, and that's the no for me because of the whole business. But I'll see for next year what I can do. Learn on a very slow motion.
But yeah, so I didn't really understand like the links and everything, but So yeah, so when Eve said, my friend Eve, you know, she's called Eve,
Yeah.
Branston, and she's very like, it's hard to explain her. She's a strange person, but she's so lovely. She means well, but she's all for like,
She's a bit scatty.
she's scatty, yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
And yeah, so she kind of like she's still friends with the lady who started the business with Errol,
Mm-hmm.
and so she sort of said, because Eve herself still does massage, but just for friends, like not in a business or anything.
Yeah.
But she sort of will just like do something, the softest massage ever. You know, something where you might say, oh, that was lovely, that I enjoyed that, but after 10 minutes, you don't remember you've even had it. You know, so.
Like kind of a Swedish massage, just
Yeah.
a pleasant one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's done one for me years ago, you know, just as a lady who I used to share, I used to rent a room in a house, you see. She
Mhm.
lived downstairs, I lived upstairs. And I just felt like, yeah, she barely touched me, and I obviously I said thank you, you know, but it was not really,
Any push.
yeah. So yeah, but no, she mentioned tweener massage. She said, oh, that's what Errol does.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, that's quite different to what she thinks is.
He's an animal.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
So it's like she just said, oh my God, you don't want to be going there. She said, at your state. I said, I'm not though. I said, I said, Sandro's very careful, and he understands, you know, and I'm different one week to the next. I said, you know, she said, oh, that's good then, that's good. And so I just looked on the internet, because she told me it was Errol. You might have mentioned his second name. I didn't take it in. Errol Lynch. So I looked on the internet. I think I looked for him once before and couldn't find anything. I think I went Errol Leeds.
Oh,
Nothing came up. So I put Errol Lynch this time, and of course it came up straight away, you know. And then I could see like a little bit of what he does, and then it came up with him treating that sprinter, the Jamaican sprinter, Johan Blake, and I thought, wow.
he has treats a lot of
Yeah.
people, which.
And then Johan Blake was in a video saying, what a great guy, you know, and this is really, really helpful and everything. So I remember watching Johan Blake, you know, when he ran in the Olympics, you know, and obviously is it like the third fastest man ever, or the second fastest man ever, something crazy like that.
I think at some point was the first fastest man ever.
Because there's Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
He won the World Championships once because Usain Bolt, well, not because, but Usain Bolt false started, I think. So he then won it easily himself. But I just think in any other time, without Usain Bolt, you know, he would have won all the titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, so he's called the Beast, isn't he?
Yeah.
And
I saw some picture of him a few days ago. He's fat.
is he? Oh.
Well, maybe it's just
Yeah.
a period of time, but wow.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to what I saw.
Yeah. He was trying to still keep running for a long time.
Yeah.
When really he was old, you know, but he was trying to still. He loves sprinting. You can tell, you know.
Well, yeah, no. So Aero has been treating a lot of famous boxers, like Joshua. He was treating Joshua back on the days when the Olympics were happening in London. He was like #1 there on the Olympics and fights and all sorts of stuff. And he's yeah. And now he's recovered from his own stroke. Has been when I saw it, I was like, wow. And then he promised me he will fix my kicks, because he said, oh, your kicks are too slow. You don't kick as powerful as you should do. So I was like, okay, so but we're gonna have to be next year now. I said, that's fine. Just get better soon. Right, so let's see how it's done. Back. Take your time, James.
Yeah.
Take your time. So what we haven't worked today, we haven't worked just around your hip mobility and the back. And I try to stretch a bit more your leg without going too much force, because what I don't want is you to go back into that pain.
Yeah.
But that should relax a bit more your hamstring with some of the work in there.
Yeah.
How's your back?
It feels okay at the moment, yeah.
It was not so bad today. You're back, or was it? It was not as bad as it was last week.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, I didn't want to go much into it too.
Yeah. To stress it out.
Yeah.
Shock it back.
But it was a bit of stress on, as you could feel
Mm.
inside the leg.
Yeah.
So that's where we work on your living meridian
Mm-hmm.
into certain parts in there. So let's see how the recovery will be in that part of the leg and how
Yeah.
it will build the energy.
Yeah.
Let me think about that a little bit there.
Yeah, I've no idea. Like, no idea. So yeah, just I was itching it,
Yeah.
and I just itched. I was thinking, oh, what is that? Itches a bit, and I itch, and I scratch. I didn't dig in that much, but I think I seemed to like pull some skin off.
Right.
So I think the skin was itching, but so maybe I gashed it, and it starts to scab over. Maybe I then pulled the scab off. I don't know.
But you can see the circulation won't be so good there because that's really
That's too tight.
tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to slacken off. I did tighten them more today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't normally have them always this tight, but yeah, I need to, especially when I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Undo it. Yeah. So, but these trainers I'm really finding helpful. Like I said before, I'm walking and I get a bit of a push now
Okay.
because the trainer is the right length.
Yeah.
The others were like my big toe. Gotta be careful, but my big toe is like here,
Mm-hmm.
whereas in my trainers before, the big toe was like there.
Oh, really?
Like all of that space, yeah. Because the trainers I had before, 7.5. These are 4.5.
Right.
So I've been wearing 7.5 trainers for years because I needed the width. Whereas now, because I'm cutting this and pulling the big toe over, I'm finding that I can get my foot. They're quite a wide shoe as well, but I can get my foot into. I mean, if I buy 10 shoes that are 4.5, I won't be able to get my feet in any of them. But this, I actually can. So that Hocker is a very good wide trainer, and it's got this like guide rail that stops me from rolling inwards.
Oh, that's a good thing.
So that's really good, as well. So yeah, I've got 3 pairs now because I just think if they stop making them exactly like this,
at least you're saving there for some time.
I've got backups because they feel like if I've been able to wear them for about 3 or 4 months now, that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So I just think I can usually just put something on and go, that's not right. I won't be able to do this more than a day. So these just feel really.
Well, that's a good one, James. As long as you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Right, James. I will have to.
Yeah.
Get going today. I'm going to see this lady, which I told her I would see her because I want to go and see her around 7 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I have some guests. Can you come around 9 or 10? I said nope, because we'll be busy around that time. Mm-hmm. Can you come 11? I say 1/4 past, 1/2 past. Yeah, that's fine. So
yeah,
that's all fine. And that's a lady who had her hip replacement done. Right. And she's on her, she's a young lass, and I'm really surprised when she said had to have a hip replacement. She is only in her 30s, and it's just a recovery time. Of course, didn't get as big on the leg in there, but all the muscles. It's been now 8 months she had that. But when you touch her muscles, it's exactly the same like solid, and then she'll say, well, when the physiotherapists came here, they came twice and they said, well, just keep mobile, you'll be fine, you are young, and they start getting worse and worse.
Is she taking water tablets?
Well, she was. Well, she started taking on her own thing because she knows someone who got her.
Because my mum they wouldn't give her water tablets for ages. And as soon as she starts having water tablets, there is a huge difference.
Yeah. So, yeah. But I told her sometimes you can't do much with her, but it's more trying to relax the hip to get more mobility here. And all the time I just go there and like, it's aching. So we'll go very gentle in there. But anyway, right, I'll call you tomorrow, James, just to check how you're doing there. Okay, no problem. I hope that will be better. So let me know how that feels around that area.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah.
Let me see. So see you another time. Enjoy your time now. At least you guys can.
Yeah, I'm staying till next Monday.
Oh, well, you stay until next Monday.
Yes.
I love you.
I didn't know that.
Oh, well, you do now.
Yeah.
Well, it was great seeing you again, and I'm happy to see you are getting better. And when I
Yeah.
hear you are doing
I'm
better than
finding
that stuff.
myself.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
It's just hard work getting up and down the building.
Don't worry. One day when you feel better, we can do those works on those legs of yours
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Whenever you feel confidence to do so, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Right, James. So.
Yeah, thank you very
No
much.
problem. Let me know how you keep going. Let me know how you are improving, and I'm gonna be able to try and send you some exercise, light ones, which you can
Yeah.
do in bed or
Yeah,
do something very nice and easy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very
No
much.
problems
Yeah,
already.
that's great. Yeah.
Sorry about rushing up a little bit
No,
today.
it's
It was-
okay. Yeah. If ever you need to switch it round and come later, I'm okay. Tuesday's a good day.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Tuesdays normally is a good day for me as well.
So,
It's
anytime.
just because this trip to
Yeah.
to Scotland on Friday, because normally I would go to see her on Friday, so I just had to
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
move around a little
Yeah.
bit.
All right.
Right,
Thanks.
buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, James.
Nice, bye.
Device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Bye, James. Thank you. When I'm streaming, dickhead. How you guys doing anyway? Right, I'm just making my way now here on the road. I don't know. Of course, I won't keep the phone pointing to me because you won't see absolutely anything, but maybe you can look at the road if the phone would stay in there. So how you guys doing? Now we can talk, bunch of motherfuckers. Now I'm back here so we can have a little conversation now. Virginia, hey Virginia, hello motherfucker, how you doing? Yeah, he just finished one massage treatment. Now, probably about to get back. Most of the roads they're closed, the main roads. So I'm not gonna be able to go to place where I should go. Need to call it motherfucker. Don't worry, I'll get you for that later on, bro. I will. I'll make sure I'll get you. So yeah, it's been a long day, another long day. With the cold, now the massage, but it saves me quite a lot. And it's much easier for me to make it on Tuesdays instead of Wednesdays, because normally Wednesday I finish class quite late, and sometimes I get here around this time 11 and I stay until quite late, and next morning need to wake up quite early, so it makes life much easier coming on Tuesday and then finish the class tomorrow. Even if I finish around 10 or a bit late, is still gonna get me home earlier and I can rest a bit more, because of course, as you know, the old fellow don't have the same energy as you boys. Now I'm gonna have to find a better way to get back home. All the main roads, they are shut, so I'm just thinking from where can I get home now. maybe if I go the ring road. It's a big diversion, but it's the fastest way to get back. And of course, be prepared for the morning as well to get back to the call. Good thing is the boss is back, so we can do the paperwork. I don't have to worry about doing any paperwork tonight when I get back home. So that's it, boys. I'm gonna start driving, so I will stop this live now. So I'll speak to you guys tomorrow, or I'll come back later on when I can annoy you a little bit better. Okay, so all of you guys have a great night, and let me get back to the road. Bye for now.